Thinking about making Fort Walton Beach your new home? Well, this laid-back beach town has long been a favorite for military families, retirees, and anyone looking to enjoy that coastal living without the Destin price tag. But is it the right fit for you? Let's dive into the top 6 pros and cons of living in Fort Walton Beach so you can decide if this sunny slice of Florida Panhandle should be your next move. Pro number 1, stunning beaches, like really stunning. First up, let's talk about beaches, because let's be honest, that's probably why you're watching this video in the first place. Fort Walton Beach is known for its postcard perfect shorelines with a powdery white sand and emerald green waters that'll make your friends totally jealous on Instagram. The most popular spot, in my opinion, is the Boardwalk on Okaloosa Island. It's the go-to beach destination for both locals and visitors, with free parking, can't beat that, beachfront restaurants, volleyball courts, and a long fishing pier if you just want to cast a line or just take in the sunset. Oh, and right next door, you're going to see the Gulferia Marine Adventure Park that has recently been expanded, and you can watch dolphins, sea lions, and even alligators put on a really neat show. It's a perfect beach day combo for families or anyone who wants to sprinkle a little bit of wildlife into their sunshine. Pro number 2, affordable cost of living. Now let's be real. Living by the beach isn't exactly known for being cheap, but here's the good news. Fort Walton Beach gives you that coastal lifestyle without the Destin price tag, especially when it comes to housing. Now, home prices and rent in Fort Walton Beach are noticeably lower, which means more bang for your buck and maybe even a little left over for the paddle boards or a margarita or two. Day-to-day costs like groceries and gas are pretty similar since the two towns are pretty close together, but you'll often find more affordable restaurants, services, and shops here in Fort Walton Beach. Destin does lean a little more towards the touristy and upscale, so if you're looking to live like a local and save a few bucks, Fort Walton Beach might be the better fit. Pro number 3, no state income tax and reasonable local taxes too. Those are definitely perks of living in the Florida Panhandle, and that just means you saving more of your hard-earned money, right? So whether you're working full-time, running a business, or living off that retirement income, it makes a difference. But it gets better. Property taxes in Fort Walton Beach are pretty reasonable. Since it's part of Okaloosa County, the average property tax rate hovers right around 0.74%, which is lower than the national average. And because home prices here are generally lower than in Destin, the actual dollar amount that you pay is often noticeably less. Sales tax, that's a flat 7% across most of Florida, which is not too crazy, and you don't have to worry about paying tax on groceries or prescription medications, which just helps you keep those everyday expenses in check. So between no income tax, moderate property taxes, and a manageable sales tax, living in Fort Walton Beach means you get to save even more of your own money, and I mean a lot more. Pro number 4, a great fit for active adults, even without the 55-plus community. Now, while Fort Walton Beach doesn't have a dedicated 55-plus single-family community like you'll find at Margaritaville and Panama City Beach, it's still a fantastic place for active adults who want to stay engaged, social, and enjoy the coastal lifestyle. There are a couple of community gathering spots like the Fort Walton Beach Recreation Center, which offers group fitness classes, social clubs, and art workshops, and so much more. These are great places to connect with like-minded neighbors and stay active without needing that fancy, formal 55-plus neighborhood. There's a really strong sense of community here, and if you're looking to give back or just meet people with shared interests, you're going to find plenty of ways to plug in. So even without the label of a 55-plus community, Fort Walton Beach offers a lifestyle that checks all of those boxes: beach access, friendly neighbors, and just enough to do without all the noise. Pro number 5, close to major military bases and all the perks that come with it. Fort Walton Beach is home base, literally, for many military families thanks to its close proximity to Eglin Air Force Base and Hurlburt Field. These bases are just a very short drive away, which makes Fort Walton Beach super convenient for active duty members, government contractors, and military retirees who want to stay close to the action but off the base. But the benefits go beyond the commute. The military presence helps keep the local economy strong, and you're going to find frequent military appreciation events, supportive businesses that offer discounts, and a community that understands the lifestyle, including the challenges of deployments and transitions. Plus, for retirees, being near the bases means easy access to on-base medical facilities, the commissary, and the BX shopping, which can make everyday life even more convenient and affordable. So whether you're active duty or recently retired or just want to be in a town that feels grounded, supportive, and service-minded, Fort Walton Beach is a solid choice. Pro number 6, endless outdoor activities from the Gulf to the greens. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, Fort Walton Beach has you covered and then some. Whether your vibe is sand between your toes or a golf club in one hand and a fishing pole in the other, there's plenty to keep you busy outside. If you're a boater, you're gonna love the easy access to the Santa Rosa Sound, Choctawhatchee Bay, and the Gulf of Mexico. There's public boat ramps everywhere, but there's one at Liza Jackson Park on Santa Rosa Sound and Ross Marler Park behind the Fort Walton Beach Convention Center. And that will get you to the Choctawhatchee Bay. But just so you know, you will have to go to the Destin's East Pass to get out to the Gulf of Mexico. But don't worry though, it's only about 4 miles away if you put in at Marler Park. Now, if you don't want the hassle of the cost of owning a boat, well, you're in luck because there are multiple boat clubs in town. All you have to do is pay a monthly fee, book your boat when you want, and skip all the maintenance, storage, and insurance headaches. Step on, step off. You can't beat that, right? And for you golfers, we haven't forgotten about you. Fort Walton Beach and the surrounding area offers 6 golf courses within about 20 minutes, including the Fort Walton Beach Golf Club, Shalimar Point, and the Eglin Golf Course, if you've got base access. So if you're an outdoor enthusiast, you're gonna love Fort Walton Beach, and you're not gonna be bored. From boating to fishing to hiking and golfing, Fort Walton Beach offers a plethora of activities to keep you engaged with the nature year-round. But wait, it's not all sunshine and seashells. We're going to talk about some of the cons that you might consider before you start loading that moving truck. Con number 1, tourist traffic, and it's about to get worse, but temporarily. Everybody knows tourism helps keep this economy humming, but during the peak season now, especially spring break and summer, the traffic can be a real patience tester. Just think beachgoers, out-of-town drivers who have no idea where they're going, and packed parking lots from morning until night. Oh, and by the way, the Brooks Bridge, which connects Fort Walton Beach to Okaloosa Island and Destin, is being totally rebuilt. And I'm hearing summer 2027 for completion date. So the good news is long term, it's going to be wider, safer, and more efficient. But in the meantime, it's going to mean closures, detours, and some extra frustration for your beach commute. So unfortunately, there's only one way around, and that's up and over through Niceville, either from the Mid-Bay Bridge on the east side of Destin or Eglin Parkway. So basically it's going to be about another 45 minutes of driving. So if you're thinking of living here full time, just know it may get a little bit worse before it gets better. So here's a local pro tip. Maybe keep a podcast or 2 queued up for the ride. Con number 2, hurricane risk. It just comes with the territory. Living in Fort Walton Beach means living near the water, and a lot of it. And yes, that comes with the risk of hurricanes. It's just something you have to take seriously, especially during hurricane season, June through November. Now, the last time Fort Walton Beach took a direct hit was from Hurricane Eloise in 1975, though we felt the effects of plenty of major storms since then, like Hurricane Ivan in 2004. Now, that was a Category 3 when it was landfall, where most of the damage was due to wind, especially trees, at least in our neighborhood, and at that time we lived in Niceville. Then came Hurricane Sally in 2020. It was not a direct hit, but we got most of the damage on the docks and seawalls from the storm surge. So here's the good news. You don't just wake up one day and see a hurricane outside your window, thank heavens. We usually get several days' notice thanks to modern forecasting, which gives people plenty of time to prepare prepare or evacuate if needed. Now, most locals have their hurricane kits ready to go, and many homes are built with storm-resistant features or can be retrofitted for extra protection. And hey, let's face it, the hard truth, some of the most beautiful places in the world also come with the most natural risk. Whether it's hurricanes in Florida, wildfires out west, or snowstorms up north, no place is going to be perfect. But if you're informed and prepared, living here is absolutely worth it for the 300 plus days of sunshine and unbeatable views. Con number 3, humidity, heat, and pollen. The Florida Panhandle heat and humidity, trust me, it's not for the faint of heart. My former neighbor, Mary from Ohio, was here for 12 years and never could acclimate to the heat. She couldn't wait to get back up into the snow country. But around here, things start heating up in May, and by the time you hit July and August, it is a full-blown sauna mode. And the humidity, let's just say, forget about the nice hair and the dry armpits. But wait, it's not just the heat. We are surrounded by densely forested, undeveloped land. So when springtime comes, that means pollen season, and the pine and oak trees around here go absolutely nuts between late February and April. You'll know it started when your car turns yellow overnight and your allergies stage a full-blown rebellion. Itchy eyes, runny nose, and sneezing, the whole 9 yards. So yes, paradise does have a price, and sometimes it's paid in sweat and tissues. Con number 4, limited nightlife, unless you count Netflix and a sunset like me. If you're dreaming of rooftop bars, live music, 7 nights a week, and clubs that go until 2 a.m., Fort Walton Beach might feel a little sleepy once the sun sets. The nightlife here really leans toward a little more low-key. Think karaoke night at a local pub or catching a live acoustic set at Props Brewery or AJ's on the Bayou. Most places really start winding down around 10 or 11, and unless there's a festival or seasonal event going on, you're just not going to find that high energy city style buzz. And also worth noting, no big name concert venues or major sports arenas are in town. So if you're looking to catch a big concert or cheer on a pro team, you're going to have to head to Pensacola or Panama City Beach. Now that being said, if you prefer quiet evenings, early morning beach walks, or a nightcap under the stars, Fort Walton Beach delivers that coastal calm perfectly. It's just more of a laid-back tiki bar vibe than a neon-lit dance floor. Con number 5, flood zones. Know before you buy. Fort Walton Beach is surrounded by water, the Gulf, the Bay, and a handful of inland waterways, which is part of the charm, right? But it's also part of the challenge. Now, certain neighborhoods are prone to flooding, especially during heavy rain, tropical storms, or high tide events. Now, areas close to the Santa Rosa Sound or Cinco Bayou can particularly be vulnerable. Even a strong afternoon thunderstorm can cause street flooding in low-lying spots. Now, that's why it's absolutely critical to check the FEMA flood zone map before buying a home. Now, some properties will require flood insurance, and even if it's not required, I think it's a smart thing to do to go ahead and buy that policy. Keep in mind, flood insurance is not included in your standard homeowner's policy, so it's one more cost to factor into your budget. A good local real estate agent can help you navigate that before you fall in love with a waterfront view that comes with too much water. Con number 6, limited public transportation. You got to bring your car and maybe have a backup. If you're used to hopping on a subway, calling a ride share, or relying on a city bus to get around, Fort Walton Beach might feel a little bare bones, is what I can say. Public transportation here is very limited, with EC Rider buses serving only a few main routes, and they don't run frequently. So that means owning a car is pretty much a necessity. Whether you're commuting to work, getting to a doctor's appointment, or even just headed out to grab groceries, you're going to need a car. If you're in a one-car household, you'll probably feel the pinch unless you live right off one of the main corridors. Now, while traffic usually isn't bad outside of tourist season, the lack of alternative transportation can make the town feel less accessible for folks who don't drive, especially for older adults or for teenagers drivers who aren't yet licensed. So yes, you got to factor in the cost of car ownership. So is Fort Walton Beach your kind of coastal paradise, or are there some quirks that are a total deal breaker? Either way, I'm here to help you figure it out. So if you're thinking about moving to the Florida Panhandle or buying a home here, or even just exploring your options, I am here to help you. Just drop your questions in the comments down below or shoot me a message directly. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss out on any more deep dives on local living. I've got plenty more insider information coming your way. Until next time, I will save you a spot on the beach. See you in the next video.